Okay, so for the ultra advanced players, I want to start with this Amazing Grace, but we're going to take a more advanced approach to it. I want to encourage you to make a visual aid for yourself. So we just write out G major pentatonic, like that, which is also E minor pentatonic, right? And then we write out G minor pentatonic. An extended range. Let's play a little bit of play along on it. You'll play after me first. I'll start on the note B. Bend. What you're noticing, or hopefully you're noticing, is that I'm going in between the G major pentatonic and the G minor pentatonic, right? So this is, that's major, and then this is minor. That's minor. That's what gives us even more depth on playing blues, is switching between those two. So actually, I'm going to do a little voice leading exercise for you. And again, if you have this written out, it's going to make it easier for you. So I already explained that. So this time, I'm going to voice lead the two different scales, major pentatonic to minor pentatonic, okay? Make it a little easier. Minor, major, minor, major, minor, major, minor, major. Minor, major, minor. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. You try it. A couple approaches here. So one is that you can think of the melody and just try to play leading notes towards that melody. So for example, if the melody at the most basic level, like most skeletal level, let's say is this. Then try to see like how many kind of variations can you make for pickups into them, right? So for example, now you try it. Record yourself. Of course, we want to try not to compromise the story, right? We tell the story. Each phrase very distinct. Take one more. Cool. Let's deal with the changes of the tune. And obviously, Amazing Grace can be interpreted harmonically in many ways. So I just did one version of it. But what I'd love for you to do is just make a chord chart for yourself. All that looks like is just writing the first chord is G. So you would just write a G, and then you put a bar line. Just looks like that. And then the next bar, right? That's it. So it can be done pretty quickly. So I'm going to write it, and I'm going to call it out as it goes. I want to encourage you to do the same thing, because for advanced players, it's great to try to see if we can deal with these chords on their own terms, just in terms of the harmony. I'm thinking of it as, I guess, as in like six, swung six, 1, 2, good 3, good 2, 2, 3. Or maybe it's a waltz. I'm not sure, but I'm just thinking of it as like 18 eighth notes in each bar. Anyway, we got G. Then we got G over B, also known as G7. Then C. Then G. And then D, sus. Then G. E minor, 7. A minor 7, D, 7 I guess, G, G7 over B, C, G, D sus, G, A minor 7, D7, C, G. I'll just tell you one more time, or you can play along. G, G7 over B, C, G, D sus, G, E minor 7, A minor 7, D7, G, G7 over B, C, G, D sus, G, 7, D7, C to G. What is a D sus chord? I know somebody's gonna ask it. So a D sus chord, it just doesn't have a third, it has a fourth instead. So you can also think of it as being a C major triad over D in the bass if you like. C major triad over D in the bass if you like. There's other ways to think about it too. But it's a very gospel-y chord. Obviously, it could be beneficial to play the bass line. It could be beneficial for you to do what I did when I made the loop. I played the bass line and then I did a version of the inner voices. That's it. Every loop I do has bass line and the inner voices, which is like your rhythm guitar part or whatever, your piano part, rhythm piano part, right? So there's different ways we can do that. Like you can strum, like I did, G, G7, you know, you can try to find that, or you can play, you know. Right? You can just try to mess around with those like kind of voicings. Or you can play the arpeggios, make a more simple obligato. So G7, C, G. And it can be your tempo, right? E minor arpeggio, A minor 7. So work on the inner voices or work on the bass line just a little bit, or work on whatever you want. 2, 3, record yourself. Try it again. And so if we deal with more like triadic type harmony like this, that it gives us more of a foundation that we can then bring into voice leading on more extended chords and stuff like that. At least for me, like whenever I'm dealing with a tune like this, it's challenging enough harmonically. So I always have stuff that I can do to investigate those harmonies in more ways. Like even if you just look at the G chord, you could think about moving between G, C, G. That's actually G, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor. Do you see how that works? So it's like you take, this is G, then that's an A minor chord. And then that's a G chord. This is an A minor chord. And then this is a G chord. This is an A minor chord. This is a G chord. So if I play add sharp 5, that's all moving between G to A minor to G to A minor. Let's look at that. Let's break that down a little bit. So play after me: G, A minor, 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 G, A minor. Now, how about this way? G, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor. So. It doesn't have to be triple stops. We could only take just 2 of those voices. So that's what I did before. So instead of playing all 3, I just took the first 2. That's G, A, G, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, A minor, G, A minor. That's an augmented fifth I just added to that G7. So I turned the C7 into a C sharp diminished. Everybody knows you're diminished, right? So show me C sharp diminished from G. Stack minor thirds. Everything is a minor third. This may be too much to catch, and it's okay. If everything is a minor third, everything is also a major sixth. Right? Everything is a major sixth. C sharp diminished. So we can look at it like this. Diminished, all 4 inversions like that. You can write this out if it makes it easier for you, right? And you don't have to play this fast. It's not about playing it fast, it's about knowing it. So whatever tempo you can play it. And it's okay if you're not getting it right now. But you could write that out and you could work on that one harmonic substitution. The point is, for that, we have the diminished bebop scale is basically where we start on C sharp and then we play whole half, 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 whole half. And what happens is we land just like this. Right? We land on those key notes in that diminished chord. So we can do that in thirds. Or sixths. That's what I did. So an obvious exercise, one that I would encourage you to do, is to arrange your own unaccompanied version of this piece, because that's another expression of this. I'm not crazy about that version, but you get the point. It's a great exercise to work on. So you can write it out slowly, or you can try to improvise. I'll give you one more chance on the tune, actually. I'll just give it to you twice more so you do whatever you want on it. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Record yourself. Let's do one more thing with this about rhythm, because this is triplet land. So this is very related to swing. I'm hearing this as 1 into 2 into 3 into 1 into 2 into 3 into 1 into 2 into 3 into. So we can make an exercise for ourselves where we actually honor those subdivisions and we try to make rhythms based on them. So obviously, how can you use the triplet? You've got 3 of them. So you can do one, you can do da 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 da. You can do that. You can do da 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 da. You can do that. You can do da wait da 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 da. That's the hardest one to start on the second triplet. Let's try some rhythms, some melodic rhythms that really take advantage of this. So I'll give you an example real quick, and I'll let you do it. So you can play after me. So stay with that rhythm for a minute. That's a pretty easy and somewhat square triplet rhythm, but it's good. 1, 2, ba ba da ba, ba ba da ba, ba ba da da, ba ba da da. Put it in the pocket. Ba ba da ba. It could be one note. Okay, now I'm gonna really flip it on you. So this is a little hipper. Ba ba dip ba. 2, 3, go 1, 2, ba 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 ba. 2, 3, ga do, ga da ga da. 2, 3, a 1, 2, and da da da. That's going to throw you off, but this is really in the clave. So play after me. See if you can catch that. So it's like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2, ba 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 ba. And probably slurring might help, but it's probably going to throw you off. So let's just try. 1, 2. Ba ba ding dee. Ba ba do be da. So let's just try to get the bow so it down, starting down. So here. My tempo sucks on this, sorry, on this loop. Very little bow. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Let's see if we can get this. That's weird. Let's just try it anyway. So it's like 1 and is that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Playing on the offbeat with the uppo. Down, up, 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 down, up. Up, down, 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 up, down. Let me see if I can use the triplet in more ways, and you can see if you can catch on. Ba 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 do booby, ba ba do do do, boom beep boom, ba ba dee. Sorry. Let's try that. You just fudge the notes, just something like that. right there, I'm playing grouping of 4 triplets. And that's where we create that tension. Everybody starts screaming and freaking out. They're like, when is it going to break? Oh my God, it's too much tension. I can't take it, right? Because I'm playing a group of 4 triplets. Da 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 1 2 3 4 1, but it's over triplets, right? So if you hear it, it's 4 triplets. I'm not making a very hip line out of it right there, but that's the idea. So we could try it like this. We could just play that over the triplet if you want. It's gonna mess with your head. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into. Same thing, but with 5. Here we go. And so if you listen, you'll hear how I'll use triplet lines that are based on 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then I'll use lines that are based on 4 and 5. Just listen. That's in 3. 3. 4. 3. 5. 4. 4. And back to 3. And when I go back to grouping it in 3, it's resolution. So we create rhythmic tension by grouping triplets in 4 and 5. We create rhythmic resolution, release, when we group it in 3. That's why I said that one of the first rhythms that I played for you, I said was kind of square. Not necessarily square, it's just very relaxed. It doesn't have a lot of tension rhythmically, inherently.